Welcome back, everyone. Well, it's summertime. That's one thing. Another thing, of course, is that you know how much we just love the arts. I just continue to this ripe young age that I am, just to think that how much the arts really contribute to our well-being. And long ago, I think it was probably 5, 6 years ago, there was all this talk about renovating this wonderful little theater on Park Street, which was right across from an old TV8 studio, by the way. And met a young guy who was coming in, was going to be the director of the Park Theater Foundation, and somebody who also just really loves the arts, knows music and stuff like that. I've done many interviews with him. His name is Chris Ristau, and he's here today. So hiya, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me back as always, Jesse.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Chris, the reason that I love to have you back around this time of year is that I think we're going into our 5th year of the summer concert series. And I remember the first interview we did on this 5 years ago. And, the thought was, hey, let's go to the band shell, Crandall Park, and let's do a summer outdoor concert series. Well, 5 years later, it's expanded quite a bit. I remember the first one, right? I don't think we even had any kind of food trucks or anything like that. And of course, I think it rained also, by the way, a couple of times. But at any rate, we're coming into our 5th season. Really nice job on choosing the performers. I see favorites. I've seen artists that I've seen their a couple of years running, and you've got some of those artists coming back, and we've got a couple of new things to talk about too. You know what I always ask people like you, people involved in the arts, is how do you choose these artists?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky in that, the capital region has a lot of talent, a lot of talent that has toured all over the country, some all over the world. And, some are just getting started and show a lot of promise. And what we basically did for this particular series this year, being our 5th year anniversary, we actually had a track record. We looked back and we said, what did well? What did people want to come out and see on a summer Friday when they could choose to do just about anything in this area? And the names that came to the top of the list and the folks that we're presenting this year are mostly local acts that you'll know the names of, as well as another group that's brand new to the area that's come up from Brooklyn. So a lot of it is for this season in particular, it's the familiarity. It's a lot of recurring familiar names that everybody loves and wants to come see, with a little bit of new folks mixed in. And then in general, the local talent, like I said, makes it easy to find entertainers to both present on our home base stage at the theater and also outdoors.
One group that I spotted that I didn't know who they were, and I went online, an a cappella group called Vocal Point. And I lost track of counting how many members were in this group. But it really did sound to me, from what I was reading and whatnot, that 17 to 20 people in this group, all young artists that are dancers and singers and whatnot. Where did you find Vocal Point?
Yeah, so Vocal Point, again, right in our backyard across the bridge. They're actually a high school group that tours and competes. They actually recently did a performance for Ben Folds. They've opened up for, I'm going to get the wrong name here, but it's a popular 80s band they opened up for at SPAC. And they just released their first recorded single on Spotify. They did a rendition of Sweet Child of Mine. So you can check that out and hear them, get a little taste before you come and see the band. But I was saying before the interview started, they probably have been on our stage more than any other group, because they do a presentation in the fall and in the spring. And we've been happy enough to host for at least the last 4 years, and figured we'd give them a new location to show off their talent on July 4th.
Oh, I think that's really terrific. And again, a cappella, and to our audience that is thinking, what does that mean? That means all vocal. So you've got a lot of people that are carrying the bass lines and the melody lines, the solo lines, all this other stuff. I'm just thinking of Take 6, which is internationally known a cappella group. If you've ever seen Take Six, I mean, they're outrageous to see. I just want to hit on some other ones. A couple of other things I want to talk about, Chris. But Chestnut Grove, another real good funky band. A lot of favorites. They've been there before. Reese Fulmer's coming, I think, with the Carriage House Band. He also performs solo. I've seen him before at the Park Theater.
Yeah.
Girl Blue. I didn't even know Girl Blue was on tour. To those in our audience, they're another artist not to miss. This is one serious singer-songwriter. Wonderful songs, wonderful lyrics, and somebody I hadn't heard of, and I was just having a hell of a time trying to find out who it is Sink Kane. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so Sin Kane, he's actually kind of an up and coming artist. This is his solo project. And I mean, it's really hard to describe the music. I mean, it's a mix of soul and progressive rock and electronica and reggae and jazz and funk. But a really great group. Kind of, you'll get like tones of, 70s, 80s New York feel. And his the lead artist, his name is Ahmed Galab. He's from Sudan and now lives in Brooklyn. And so he's trying to, spread out and get some of the rhythm and roots that he's familiar with out into the world. And so we'll actually be one of his first venues outside of the city.
Wow. Okay. Boy, I can't wait to see that. Always love hearing new music. One other thing I wanted to talk about in the time we have, Chris, is that the Park Theater has really earned a reputation over the years for being a great place to see a comedian. The intimacy of the theater itself, the artist feels very connected to the audience at Park Theater, and has made I've seen some really terrific artists there. And but you're doing something very interesting this year. Each summer in downtown Glens Falls, as some people might know, there's a summer series called Take a Bite, where the restaurants hit the street, and from like 5 to 7 on a series of probably 7 Wednesday nights in July and August, you can go down and sample for like $5 little tidbits from all the different restaurants. Well, if you've done that, then 7 o'clock hits, the music kind of stops, the restaurants kind of fold the tent, and you think to yourself, what are you going to do? Well, Chris came up with an idea. He thought, let's do comedy night immediately following each Wednesday and Take a Bite at the Park Theater and present some comedians. Hats off to you for thinking about this idea. I think it's a great one, Chris. And tell me a bit about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, for those of you familiar with our programming, every last Friday or final Friday of each month during our regular season, we host, it's just a comedy after dark. So at 8 o'clock, those shows kick off, and we always have the New Year's Eve comedy night to bring in the new year. Always a lot of fun. It's been a staple of our program, since before my time here. And we figured, something that we could do after Take a Bite when there's just so many people downtown, there's so much energy downtown, and then we just didn't want to lose it, right? So on Wednesday nights, we're going to kick off this aptly named comedy night after Take a Bite and really open up the doors at 6:30 when things are calming down downtown, and then kick off the show at 7:30. And we're going to do 5 showcases of regional comedians. So we'll have anywhere between 4 and 8 comics with a host most nights. But the final night of each month on July 30th, we're going to have a headliner named Ariel Elias. And on August 20th, we're going to have a headliner, Carmen Legalba. And those 2 shows will follow the same format as our Comedy After Dark night, where it's a host, a feature act, and then our headliner. And I just wanted to give a little plug too, because we've been working with the host for those shows, again, for over 5 years at this point. And the talent that we're able to bring in because of this host is amazing. And actually, one of our headliners from last year, Liz Glazer, was just on Jimmy Fallon, did like 20 minutes on Jimmy Fallon 2 weeks ago. We shared that around on social media. It's really great. And it highlights again, like just how close Glens Falls is to, all these, everything you see on TV from New York City, like we're just a few hours away. People pass through here to go up to the festivals in Montreal or out to Buffalo, and we're right on the way. So it again kind of helps with that challenging task of trying to bring these touring artists into our area. Not only are we a beautiful space and a friendly space, but we're conveniently located in between everything.
I love how you wrap that up. And conveniently located. I like the other things you said before when you said it's a welcoming place, a happy place. There's not many places that can pull comedy off. I don't know what it is. It's the vibe of the building or something. But and it's also a very dedicated audience. Audiences will seek out a comedian they don't know just because they like the venue or they like the vibe, they like the feeling of the place. You really managed to capture that. To our viewers, if you see a web address, you will see a web address on the bottom of the screen. Really go check out what's going on with the Park Theater and the Park Theater Foundation. It's just so wonderful to have this beautiful little theater right in the heart of Glens Falls. And, when I was on the website, I just wanted to close with something that the dedication here, I like to read about organizations and what their mission statements are and whatever. But this language in this was really good, Chris. It says, dedicated to the performing arts in a way to grow, give artists a chance to grow and develop their skills and self-confidence. And I thought that was a really nice way to phrase that. There isn't an artist I have met ever that didn't suffer from wondering if they were any good or not, having to check out whether or not their skill set was on, test an audience, test a reaction or whatever. And that the Park Theater and the Park Theater Foundation is giving these artists that opportunity. So thanks, man. Okay, again, to our viewers, the summer concert series is just about to get rolling. And also this comedy night thing that's attached to Take a Bite during July and August is also a seriously cool idea. All right, Chris, you take care. It was really great to catch up to you. And as usual, I'll wave to you when we roll into the park.
That sounds great, Jesse. Always good to see you. Thanks so much.
You take care.